Oh, hello everyone, it's Susie, Crypto Granny here. The date is the 28th of October 2022 and the time in Europe, Amsterdam is 19:59 p.m. Sorry I'm a bit late today, but time just seems to fly and I don't know where it goes. But anyway, let's talk about the cryptocurrency news. What's really big today that I think is really important. I get the main stories, not everything of course, because we don't have a lot of time. But look, I think this market is going to go bull, bull, bull. We see it in the equity market. The equity market, as I speak, the Dow's at 32,800, up about 790 points, up 2.5% nearly. And I do believe the Dow from here can get to about 34,000 quite quickly. The Dow from its lows to its highs, probably sort of about 20%, and now it's back to a sell-off of probably about 14% roughly. But the cryptocurrency market overall is still down by about 6%, and some specific coins are down even more. And some coins are so cheap, it is a joke. And just to name them off my head, Binance is so cheap, right? Cheap, cheap, cheap. XRP, cheap, cheap, cheap. VeChain, cheap, cheap, cheap. Polkadot, one of the cheapest coins out there, is at 648. Amazing story. So cheap, right? Incredible. VeChain at 0.022. Tron at 0.0644. Now, Tron is, connected with everyone, including HOUBI, with Justin Sun, and doing amazing things. Also, Binance, is connected with Twitter and Binance know Tron and everyone else, right? They all know each other, that's for sure. So let's get on with the cryptocurrency stats first, and then we'll talk about some really main stories that I think are huge drivers for this cryptocurrency market to go even higher. I'm expecting this market cap in the next couple of months to get to 3 trillion, okay? This is the opportunity of a lifetime. The market is cheap. Bitcoin is so cheap. Bitcoin could get to 50 grand by the end of the year or 100,000. There's hardly any supply of Bitcoin on the exchanges, okay? And I'll explain that soon. So market cap at the moment is 1.025 trillion, volumes at 51.265, liquidity is at 4.554, and Bitcoin dominance is 38%, 38.67% at the moment, according to Livecoin Watch. Bitcoin's at 20,668, Ethereum 15.53, Binance at 299.93, XRP is at 0.46812, LDodge 0.06, Matic 94 cents, and Cardano at $6.48, right? The bottom line, cheap, cheap, cheap. Link is so cheap. There's so many coins that are just so cheap to what they do and the income they bring in from the clients, the developers, the users. It's amazing, okay? But let's get on to Bitcoin. As I said, the supply of Bitcoin on the exchanges is very, very low. A couple of weeks ago, Bitcoin had on the exchanges, including Binance and all the big ones, right, roughly about 2.2 million of Bitcoin, right? Now, as you know, Bitcoin doesn't have a lot of supply. Most of it's been mined. So literally, once that goes off the exchanges, there's going to be no Bitcoin left, okay? And there's a huge demand out there for Bitcoin. Huge demand by institutional clients, by high net worth clients, by family offices, you name it, insurance, everything, right? So, now Bitcoin in the last 3 weeks had literally about 124,000 units of Bitcoin come out of the exchanges where people are holding them in their own wallets. And don't forget, if you don't have custody of your own coin, you don't own it. So you don't want to leave it on small exchanges. It could go bust. Yes, you can leave it on Binance because they do 75% of the trading, and also they're an incredibly profitable business. Plus, the owner of Binance is worth $94 billion. So Binance is worth a lot, right? As you can appreciate. But, generally you should have it in your own wallet, hardware wallets and that sort of thing for security. But the point is, in the last 3 weeks, and I repeat it again, 124,000 units of Bitcoin have been taken off all the exchanges, held by people in their own custody. And that's only going to leave roughly, probably about 1.8 million of Bitcoin left, right? When there's no supply, there is no supply, and that's what you're seeing with Bitcoin. Even in terms of a float on the New York Stock Exchange, if it's a small float under 25 million, often because there's not a lot of circulating stock around, people are going to buy it up because of a small float. And if anyone's short, they're going to get absolutely creamed, like we saw with GameStop, right? We all know what happened with GameStop between 2021 and 2020, I should say, because one of the big fund managers, Melbourne Capital, went short GameStop for literally 10 times over the even the circulating capital, and they got absolutely killed, right? And they went bust and lost about $6 billion. But that's the thing, you don't short Bitcoin. Honestly, you've got to be mental. There's no supply, right? So every dip, I believe, is going to be well supported. And that is just absolutely. Now, Ethereum, I always believe Ethereum is well overpriced, okay? And I'll explain some stories that really prove that. XRP can do NFTs now. They can do ICOs. They can do all sorts of things. So can Binance. And yet Ethereum is at $15.52 and XRP is at what, 48 cents. Get real. It's just a joke. Even Binance at $2.99 is a joke to where Ethereum is. Ethereum should not be the second highest price in terms of crypto coins, okay? It is just a joke, and I really do not like Ethereum at all. Anyway, so let's talk about what some of the really important news stories are. I know we've seen that Dodge has gone up, quite a bit, 40% in the last couple of days, and obviously it's linked to the Twitter deal, which went through today with Elon Musk. Obviously paid the $44 billion for Twitter. And mind you, Binance also made a strategic investment in this investment by giving Elon Musk $500 million to help him fund this deal. And I mentioned this the other day, Morgan Stanley, JP Morgan, a whole lot of those Sequoia Capital, all put up billions of dollars to fund this deal as well. But I think it's a very, very smart deal, and I'll tell you why. Because Elon Musk has actually said if Twitter is set up like an exchange where people can buy and sell cryptocurrency, the platform's going to have the main currencies of Bitcoin, XRP, and Dodge. Now, XRP is just a no-brainer, and it is so cheap. And that is certainly going to get more flow through with XRP, more profitability, more clients, and everything else, right? But the interesting thing is Elon Musk bought Twitter, and Twitter is way behind the other social media platforms, right, that people use in terms of client base, right? So Twitter only has active monthly clients of about 330 million, which is really low when you compare it to, say, allegedly something like YouTube or, or WhatsApp or something where there's 2 billion active users every month. So I think Elon Musk wants to increase that user base, absolutely, and there's a lot of growth to do it within Twitter, okay, absolutely. He basically is going to change a lot of things, and I do believe he will make Twitter almost like a cryptocurrency exchange, and they will use Binance to buy and sell cryptocurrency. This is a huge client for Binance, absolutely huge. And it's going to be a huge client for XRP as well as Dodge, right? Now, the thing is, Mr. Elon Musk is very, very smart, okay? He's allowed users to buy and sell NFTs via tweets with Solana integration, Jump Trade, and Rarible, as well as other exchanges, right? Also, he wants to integrate crypto wallets within Twitter itself as well, which is huge, absolutely huge. Crypto integration on the Twitter platform is going to make it almost like, for example, an exchange, where they also include bot accounts integrating as well and reducing spam and scam, Twitters and this sort of thing as well. Now, Elon Musk has actually turned around and said he doesn't like advertising, and that's not surprising because we've had some big advertising companies come out in terms of Wall Street for their profitability. We've seen Amazon come out, Facebook and Google, and their advertising, Alphabet I should say, their advertising revenue is off big time, right? And so subsequently the stock market sold those shares, and understandably so. Elon Musk believes that the advertising industry is over. Particularly, and he's right, because if we go to Web3, we own our own data, not the advertisers, okay? Excuse me for a minute. I had a really bad cold in the last couple of weeks. A shocker. So the thing is, you don't get your money through advertising, right, these days. And that's what we saw with Meta, Facebook, and, Amazon and Google, right? And that's smart what this guy's thinking. He's thinking, 330 million active users on Twitter. I can build that up to 2 billion active users a month who will buy and sell cryptocurrency, normal tokens and coins, but also NFTs. And if he integrates wallets, like, he could build this business to, a $5 billion business, right? Plus, Binance is doing all the transactions on behalf of this huge Twitter business of exchange of cryptocurrency, right? This is big, people. This is huge. I've got to tell you that. Absolutely huge, right? So basically, and also another thing is, of the Twitter users, 70 million users are in the USA out of 330 million, about 50 million in Japan, and then we use Twitter, Australians do in the UK, but a lot of other people don't. So Elon Musk sees there's huge room to increase the client base of Twitter. So it's like almost like YouTube or WhatsApp, 2 billion users, right? And I think that's a great story, an absolute great story. So what they're working on with Binance is integration of the exchange to Twitter so that you can buy and sell cryptocurrency, probably just with a Twitter handle or an email or something like that. This is big. And this alone should propel the cryptocurrency market alone, not to mention, Elon Musk's favorite coins, and he said it XRP, Bitcoin, and, Doge, right? So this is big, big, big. Also, let's get on with something else that the Binance was working, which I didn't mention. But Binance are working with the project in Kazakhstan for the central bank to create a digital currency, which will directly feed into the Binance chain, right? This is fabulous. It means that the digital currency will actually be integrated with Binance chain. I mean, Binance is a mega, mega story, people. Seriously, it should not be at $299. Don't forget, CZ, the CEO, Chang Peng Zhao, said they're going to buy back 80 million units of Binance, okay? 80 million units, which are held by him and the people that work for him, okay? Now, the total supply of Binance at the moment is 159 million. Circulating is the same, but there's a maximum supply of 197. So already, the difference between 197 mil and 159 mil, CZ himself is holding quite a lot of Binance, which if he buys that back or burns, right, there's going to be less supply of Binance on issue. Now, CZ's made it very well known in the past that they only want 100 million out there on issue for Binance, right? Rather than nearly 200 million, okay? And that will propel this coin to the heights we saw a couple of years ago of $780. It should be over $1,500 per unit, okay? Another thing that I think is really bullish for the cryptocurrency market is the new UK Prime Minister. The guy's 42. He worked in Silicon Valley. He's an amazing bloke by the sounds, but he's very bullish cryptocurrency. And all of a sudden we see the UK putting, forward new regulation, very smart regulation, which is very pro cryptocurrency. So I think that in itself is a huge, huge story. Very, very smart young man. Very, very smart. Also want to mention REVOLUT added crypto payment features. They're going to be adding them by next month. Apparently they've got REVOLUT themselves, the business has got 20 million personal clients, 20 million, customers and clients. They also have 950,000 business users that use their app. They're in 200 countries in the world, and they're going to have at least 30 different types of cryptocurrencies. And again, that's huge, right? Roughly they do about 100 million transactions per month, which is big. They have a banking license in Lithuania, and they just got approved by the UK Financial Authority to have a license for cryptocurrency. So that's a great story, and it's a big one. okay, a real big one as well, which is going to create a lot of demand for cryptocurrency. And some of these cryptocurrencies that have low volume supply, anything under 100 million, are just going to be taken up big time, bedded down in big fund manager portfolios or high net worth individuals, never to see the light again. And what that means is there will be no circulating supply and the prices will just keep going up for specific blue chip cryptocurrencies like Binance, for example. Also, I want to talk about XRP, another blue chip cryptocurrency. It should not be at 46 cents, right? No way. Now, they brought out their quarterly report, the Q3, very, very good report. Excellent, actually. Now, XRP hold less than the supply of 50%. They only run about 4 validator nodes out of 130 admin nodes and over 1,000 normal nodes. They've been expanding massively into Latin America, including Brazil. Big things are happening in Brazil. They sold 310 million XRP, and they bought back more as well. Also, they're adding new client base all the time. They've now got this NFT functionality to the DevNet with XLS20. They've set up a $250 million creative fund to help creators bring their NFT prospects to their platform, right? And people apparently can put in their applications by the end of December, the 30th, to get on XRP's ledger. So not only is XRP acting like an ICO, exactly like Ethereum, but, they're connecting to NFTs and all sorts of things, right? A couple of the clients they've got, and they're very well-known clients, is apparently this is a very big fashion house called Balmain Fashion Powerhouse. They've got Metaverse Platform 9 Level 9, which is a client. They've got fan-focused NFTs on the mainnet, including NFT, which is Japanese fan token project. Plus, they're looking at NFT sports and other platforms to go on that platform, right? So they're in direct competition with Ethereum, right? Now, the thing is, XRP is so much faster than Ethereum. Thousands and thousands and thousands of transactions faster per second. It's much better. It's had no hacks, and also it's faster and incredibly cheap, and it's green, okay? Low carbon emission. It's not proof of work or proof of stake. It's very low carbon emission. Also, as you know, XRP with ODL, literally people can fund their accounts, right? With borrowing, on market liquidity, okay? And, this new market, Brazil, is huge. It's 270 million people or something. They've got clients like Trulex Bank, FOMOPay, Remit, Tap, Jets. But overall, it's going to increase, right, the demand for XRP. There is no doubt about it, okay? Now, blockchain.com, they're using Margetta-powered Visa card. They're using Margetta, who's a card issuing platform, to create Visa card with no fees, cashback, all sorts of things with the blockchain wallet. Now, don't forget, if you do go on a blockchain wallet, you're not holding your own custody, okay? You don't really want to do that. That's for sure. But anyway, very, very interesting. Now, VeChain also had an election just recently to upgrade its technology and to grow and grow and grow. They've agreed to go to proof of authority, which is number 2 upgrade, okay? Pretty amazing. Now, VeChain just put on a very large client from China as well, which is seriously important. VeChain I regard as a blue chip core cryptocurrency. It's cheap, cheap, cheap. It's so cheap. This coin should not be at 0.022 cents. It should be at $1 minimum, right? A client they just recently put on was a guy called Yo Pool, who's using VeChain in terms of supply chain management to look after his goods, which are, boutique domestic coffee in China. And absolutely huge, okay? Absolutely huge. Also, they put on another client called XP Network. And, they're looking to NFTs and that sort of thing, but they're also partnershiped up with Amazon Web Services. VeChain is also low carbon technology. It's absolutely green. It's proof of authority number 2. It has incredible scalability, and it's seriously, seriously fast. And they have a lot of big clients all over the world, including China. to make sure that food is not fraud. Food is what it actually is. It's supposed to be pork. It really is pork, that sort of thing. Now, just very quickly, I'll mention THORCHAIN, that the network was down about 15 hours. THORCHAIN are on Cosmos, but apparently it was a unique transaction type that shut the network down. So no big issue there. Cardano announced a new release for Layer 2, scaling solution Hydra. Scale 2 goes on above the initial Layer 1 blockchain, okay, just so people know. And apparently this is happening. It's going to scale them faster, more executable, more security, more creation of smart contracts, and much better layer 2, and just make things quicker. I'm not a lover of ADA. I just think there's better stories out there. That's my honest opinion. Now, Polygon partners with Axelia. Axelia is establishing developers to build on chains that make it easy to obtain their goals, the developers particularly. So there's zero barriers in liquidity, and there's actually cross-chain communications, whether it be with XRP, or Ethereum or something else. Now, another one I wanted to mention was HOUBI, right? HOUBI token, as you know, Justin Sun from Tron is an advisor to HOUBI. And HOUBI token, its stable coin, HUSD, is going to be delisted. Now, before delisting, it was actually 0.89 cents against a dollar. There is no guarantee a stable coin issued by anyone is going to stay 1-for-1 with the US dollar or US dollar tether. But anyway, what HOUBI is doing, thank God for clients that invested in this, they're going to buy back HOUBI USD at $1, so clients don't lose their money. And this conversion will be done by the November the 4th with delisting, okay? Now, the interesting thing about this is Justin Sun from Tron owns a lot of stable coins, HUSD, but also owns a lot of HOUBI tokens, right? He's a big holder. He owns tens of millions, apparently. So I think he's done this deal so that the end investor doesn't get hurt on the token side, but also to increase the price of HOUBI token. He certainly made a lot of money if he bought HOUBI at $4, right? So he's basically focusing, Justin Sun's focusing, and he's got money where his mouth is. He's got investment in HOUBI. He wants to take HOUBI global and eventually see it back at, #1 in China. Now, he's mentioned China a couple of times, so my ears prick up every time I read this, and I've read it about 3 times in the last couple of days. He believes that China, will regulate to bring in certain cryptocurrencies like VeChain, which is already in there, and others. And he doesn't think that, these draconian rules they've got for cryptocurrency in China are going to be in play for a long time. So I think this is a really interesting story, and it's something we need to look at. Also, Tron, again, it's so cheap, people. It is so cheap. Tron's transactions every day, it's mega, it's huge, it's fast. Okay, really, really fast, okay, and cheap. So, I think Tron's very undervalued. I do regard that as a core blue chip as well. Very quickly, Polkadot came out with MetaPay, which will let users privately send crypto across different platforms. And that's why we're seeing Kasamo do fairly well. Polkadot, again, is another cheap coin I regard as a blue chip. Apparently, they're going to let people do this, particularly users. Only 5,000 participants in 133 countries. We're talking Web 3 here, guys. This is amazing. Web 3, where you can privately send your own crypto. Amazing. Amazing story. But look, either way, guys and girls, this is huge. The stories that have come today just on crypto, these specific stories, it just means the user base is going to increase something crazy, right? I think it's about 120 million invested in crypto. It's going to be massive growth. Right, because when Twitter, changes into an exchange, I think literally crypto is on the map, right? I mean, Musk has got 102 million Twitter subscribers, but honestly, it's just this market can only go up as far as I'm concerned when I read everything, right? Everything in the market. Yes, we've got inflation, Italian inflation came out 12.8% year on year, German 10.4%, Aussie around 7.5%, but the reality is, the Fed and central banks raising interest rates is just stupid in my mind, right? We look at lending in the UK market, Canada, Australia, even the US is starting to come off really fast. The construction industry is coming off very fast. Housing market's going down catastrophically, and people are really doing it hard because they're giving up their animals, their dogs, which is really sad because they can't afford to feed them. So when you look at that, when I look at it all, and the bull in the equity market, you know, this crypto market should be at 3 trillion, seriously, in the space of 3 months. Seriously, I'm on record for saying I'm just bull. Anyway, guys and girls, enough of me. I've yapped on too much. Going to have a beer now, and please do look after yourself, look after your animals. Please be kind to them and to people, because it's getting worse out there. But anyway, you just got to do what you can do. Anyway, I'll talk to you guys. Today's the 28th. I might talk to you on the weekend if there's something really that needs to be spoken about it. But if not, have a great weekend, and I'll talk to you on Monday. Thank you.